Watch where you walk. Please don't slip on my sauce. Call me extra. Give me guac. If you're extra too, let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. If you're extra too, let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. If you're extra too, let's do brunch. Run me my shit. I ain't got no patience. All these hoes up in this bitch, ballin' information. Baby, keep the dreams flowing. I don't come here too often. Want that liquor sneak up on me till I feel it in the morning. Dressed to impress, bitch. Brim hat and necklace, designer frame to watch with the coordinated side. Can never be too drastic. Bitch, where's my chapstick? I needed my iPhone. Call the driver to take me home. Icy drip, watch where you walk. Please don't slip on my sauce. Call me extra, give me guac. If you're extra too, let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. If you're extra too, let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. If you're extra too, let's do brunch. I see you killing them with your melanin. Walking the room like you own the spot. The clock in your checks and your dividends. Yeah, they're high. Here we go. Spirit is bright. Don't need to a hating ass bitch that ain't never got shit. Pass them the shits cause they need them. Let's just have a good time. Monday back to the grind. Give me a start on the side. A roommate here about to blow your mind. Already RSVP'd. We chillin' in VIP. I'm feeling real extra. Fucking I'm special. This brunch on me. Dressed to impress, bitch. Brim hat and necklace. Designer frame to watch with the coordinated side. Can never be too drastic. Bitch, where's my chapstick? All I need is my iPhone. Call the driver to take me home. Icy drip, watch where you walk. Please don't slip on my sauce. Call me extra, give me guac. If you're extra too, let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. If you're extra too, let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. Let's do brunch. If you're extra too, let's do brunch.
Yes, God, honey. Bitch, where is my chapstick? I just thought about that. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Here's my chapstick. Thank you for the reminder, roommate, honey. Yes, God, honey. We appreciate it, honey. Can't come on here with dry ass lips, girl. Gotta keep them moist. Amen. Welcome to YB Entertainment TV, everybody. Yes, God. And this is my in-depth series where I, get into, interviews with people that I find interesting. Okay, just call me Barbara Walters, Wendy Williams, and Charlemagne the God all in one. But over here, I try to be as original as possible. Amen. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be updated each and every time I'm uploading something new. That intro song was by our guest, honey, our special guest, RM8, also known as Roommate, honey, Kerry D and Lyndon Jamez. That was called Brunch Bitch. Okay, brunch. So make sure you get into it, okay? So without further ado, I would like to introduce my wonderful guests, Kerry D and Lyndon Jamez.
Hi, everybody.
Hola.
Good, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey,
I am good.
Okay.
I'm really good. I'm excited to have you both here.
We're excited to be here.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. All right, okay.
Let's see, there we go. You know what? I find you guys extremely fascinating because, of course, we were introduced to you. This side of us were introduced to you by way of web series. Shout out to Chasing Dallas season 2. We appreciate you guys for giving the light to this obvious talent that can actually sing. Amen.
Thank you.
They can sing, not just sing. They can sing, bitch. Okay. The music you guys put out is just amazing. You recently just had your EP debut, The Boys Next Door.
Yes.
What is
It's a wonderful project.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful project. But we will get into the music a little bit later. So here on In Depth, what I like to do is I like to go, like the word says, in depth to have a conversation. But before I get there, I just want to acknowledge the people in the chat really for coming through. The Cat's Meow, I appreciate you, boo. Little Baby, Miss Trish, Soulful Dog, hello, good evening. For the Artist, hello, my fellow outsider. Amber Cotton, thank you for joining us. Mercedes Boykin, Pierre Bell, hello. Hello, everybody. Weston Music, hello, God, how are you? All right,
Hey,
honey. Is that a sign and label? What's T?
No, that's a fellow artist. He's a dope singer.
Super
Y'all go
dope.
check him out. He's amazing.
Okay.
Sure.
Facts.
Definitely support Black
Definitely
and
vibe.
LGBT community.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
But
so
let
definitely
him tell it. I mean, I tell his business, but he
Oh.
is a dope artist nonetheless. But
Definitely.
okay, that's cool. That's what's up. Support it all. Support it all. That's what we need now is support. So I guess let's get into it real quick. Yes, we were introduced to you guys by way of Chasing Dallas, but I want to go back even further. So this question is for both of you. Any one of you can answer at any time. It doesn't matter. But give us a brief rundown. Who are you? Where do you come from? What are some of your experiences in life? That kind of tea. Family. If you really want to get into the minutia.
right, the girls know me. You
Well, I'm Lyndon Jamez, and I'm originally from Kansas.
Okay.
So it's really not too much there in Kansas, but my family, we ended up deciding to move here to Texas, probably when I was like in the 5th grade. And, I don't know, I've always been like a weird creative kid, just, with a big heart for family and friends and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the rundown on me, in a nutshell, honestly.
Well, I'm Kerry D. I was born in Columbus, Ohio. Then I moved down here to Dallas when I was like young. My parents divorced, ended up living with my granny. Granny had me in church. And one day I think she got annoyed with me singing next to her. She heard me, sent my ass in front of everybody to sing. And that's really all she wrote. After that, you couldn't shut me up. So here I am.
Okay, that's what's up. I hear a little church when I hear you sing, Kerry. There's obviously church in there.
Yeah, Southern Baptist. Went to the church here in Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth. There's one called Concord. It's Southern Baptist. Yeah, we Amazing Grace. I'll get it down. Yeah, I almost was a gospel singer before anything else, but that wasn't the call.
It's kind of hard to go back definitely with some of these songs like Blow Your Mind, honey.
you know, walk with me, Jesus.
Okay. Take my hand. Lick me, choke me. Oh, whoa.
Okay.
Hey, if that was going on back then too, that's where we got it from.
Exactly.
Amen. Okay, that's how I got here.
Not amen.
Hello, God.
Okay, let it be played.
One of the things that I find interesting, I know not everybody has the same story. So you guys are both, part of the LGBT community. Mm-hmm. Is there any struggles that you may have endured while wandering throughout this life that you could speak to or that you want to speak to? And if so, if there is a struggle, what you learned from it and the advice that you would have for other, LGBT members who may be going through the same thing.
You want to touch on that or me?
You start.
Okay. Well, for me, I grew up with most of the gay tropes where I was molested at a young age. Let's see. I dealt with homelessness. I dealt with abandoned father. Like my dad was in my life, but he wasn't very nurturing, or he wasn't able to be a father. What I learned from that is that I had to I went through life surviving and not living. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot of doing what I have to do to get by. And then when I got to a place where I didn't have to, just survive, mm-hmm. I realized I wasn't doing my calling. I was just like, I'll clock into a 9 to 5 and be depressed because I wasn't following my passion. So I'll say this to anyone who has to go through, who got it, because us LGBT people, we have to maneuver growing up. We don't get to experience, back when I was younger, I'll say that nowadays we get into a place where a lot of people are able to experience love at a young age and all the good jazz with in the LGBT community. But growing up, I didn't have that experience. So I learned growing as I got it as an adult. When I was in a relationship, I realized I was only in a relationship because I was trying to survive it and not live it. And following my passion is what really got me out of that relationship and ultimately doing music, honestly, because I wasn't doing music in that whole time frame, if that makes any sense. Just because so you follow your passion, don't, but be smart.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just real quick. What were some of the coping mechanisms? Was it just music, or was it other outlets that you had to deal with a lot of those traumas that you endured?
Growing up, it was music, and then people like my best friend right here, but like it's hard to explain this. So growing up, I disassociated a lot of things. So I even in my first relationship, I wasn't really able to express love or express how I wanted to because I didn't feel safe enough to do so. What am I trying to say? We're on some liquor right now, so bear with me one moment. It just became one of those things where it was like I didn't know how to cope. So singing would be one of the things, but then as I got older, and even after that relationship, I would do it with sex, or I would do it with alcohol or weed, stuff. But then dealing with my best friend here, who he definitely teaches. He does self cleansings, if you will, where he teaches about self-love and like learning how to love oneself. And granted, we're both on this journey together, but it really taught me like to really be okay with being alone, be okay with being, center of, like, take care of one, because I'm giving out a lot of my energy to people who don't deserve it. Don't know if that all makes sense, but there you go.
It definitely makes sense. I appreciate you being in a space to where you can share your experiences, because you never know who you can help out. I hate to say we go through the same things, but it's true, we do. And you never know who is battling something right now, you know what I mean, or needing something. So I appreciate you opening up and sharing that. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. It took a while, because a moment I would deal with it, like my anger would come out. Like I would lash out at the wrong people, at the right people sometimes. But it was less about doing the work. It was less about the issue with the other person and not dealing with the issue within myself. So definitely surrounding myself with good people, surrounding myself with myself sometimes really definitely helped with that. Yeah.
It's crazy. We go through these things in life, and I always say that God comes in when he's supposed to. And I think he intervenes. Obviously, he deals with people differently. But like when I hear stories like yours, it's coupled with a lot of other stories that I've heard too. And I just like to see who people have become now, hearing their story and their journey. You would never think that they'd be able to sit on top, but still not realizing that we're still going through it. We're just trying to, embrace a new way of dealing with it so that we're not stagnant in our life or blocking our blessings by holding on to all of that trauma and anger and, depression and sadness.
Fact.
Okay. Exactly. All of that.
Okay.
Lyndon?
Oh, okay. For me, I would say growing up, I was always really shy and really to myself, but that's probably because I knew I was just like a little different. By different, of course, it's just like I knew that like I always had like a sexual attraction to men, and then I was like went through like a bisexual phase and all of that. But it's just a lot that like I kept inside and I didn't really like let out. So I just learned to internalize everything, and so I was one of those people that would like have like a meltdown. Like I would pretend like everything's okay, and I realized at a young age too that a lot of people were worried about themselves mostly, so they would just talk and talk and talk, and they had no consideration about like how I felt. But it was also good for me because I didn't have to open up to people. I didn't have to really, express who I am as a person. So kind of like deflected everything. And for me, that my struggle was just trying to find my voice and find like how I can walk into this world and be happy with who I am and not make any, I guess excuses for like why I am the way that I am, because I was always apologizing who I am, and if I'm being too weird or being too clingy or something like that, I would always be the one to be like I'm always in the wrong. So also just growing up not financially stable with that's one thing as well, and living in motels. Yeah, okay. It definitely puts a lot of things in perspective and make you realize that you might not have everything, but it made me cling to family or cling and value like true relationships, and when I could. So when there was moments where I found myself being able to be completely myself, especially like with around like Kerry, it was just like natural. It was like there's no need to really always hide who I am, because there is a community of people out there just like me who just wants to be free and just want to like really live in their truth and be happy. And once I realized that kind of helped me, because it was like it stopped a lot of the mental battles that I had within myself. I still have them, but of course, while I have insecurities, and especially like even crossovering into the gay world, you realize, oh, there's somebody who is 10 times more talented than I am, look better than I do, and this and that. But then also you have to realize, but they can't be you at the end of the day. And it's all about your heart and how you actually really want to like leave your mark on this world. And so you can't do that by being somebody else or being fake. So like my way of dealing with that was literally just making sure that I did have the right people around me and loving on the people that I know love me back, So yeah, definitely also had some crazy coping mechanisms, drinking, smoking, a little, hanky panky. But okay.
Yes, they never wrong with that. We gotta learn something.
Exactly. It felt good, trying to cope.
Gaining experience.
Yeah, but exactly. But then when you realize that, like, at the end of the day, you do need to find ways to not dismiss your problems and handle them better on.
They coming back.
Yeah, and that's what made me realize that you need a community to do that. I know I couldn't do this alone. I used to be, I can't do this. I can only do this by myself, and I can't, trust anybody. But then, honestly, if you do trust and believe that, the universe or God, however you want to put it, will bring someone in your life or people in your life that, when you're asking for it and you are really willing to like make those changes, you'll start seeing the right people come into your life. And then sometimes you got to face the hardcore truth, like, oh, wow, some of that is me. I'm projecting. And then some of that is like, it is other people. But, you go on this journey where you realize you can't do it alone. And that's why I love the fact that we can stand in our truth and be who we are, because we know other people are out there and we want them to know they're not alone as well. Facts. Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. There's obviously a lot of reflection that's taken place over your lifetime. When you're able to unpack that kind of stuff and package it the way that you did and deliver it the way that you did. Shout out to Amazon, bitch. Okay, shout out to UPS and FedEx, bitch. Because the way that you explain that, I think any and everyone should be able to wholeheartedly understand. And that shows the kind of growth and maturity that has taken place throughout your journey. And I think that's what I appreciate more about you guys. Just, I didn't know that. That wasn't shown on the show, obviously. I haven't heard that anywhere. So I definitely, just trying to say exclusive tea, bitch. Okay. Yeah. No, but I appreciate that level of vulnerability. As my husband, Wuda Lee, has said in the chat, honey, I have to put that out there. Yes, God, honey. Aaron, mind yourself, girl. Okay. Anyway, I'm just playing. There's something when you guys sing. You guys are kind of really in sync with each other. I also obviously have to attribute that to the close bond that you have. When did you guys meet? How did this friendship start?
Oh,
do you want
Ketchford, Sicily.
Okay.
1974.
Wait a minute.
No, okay, so we had a mutual friend.
Yeah.
Was it high school?
Yeah, high school.
Okay, freshman year, maybe.
Yeah, around
okay.
There, yeah.
Freshman year, more than 10 years ago, payment 9. we had a mutual friend.
Yeah.
It was a friend of mine who knew I did music.
Yeah.
He was trying to hook us up, and when we got on the phone, we would start talking, and it was just one of those things where it's like, "Are you cool as shit? Wait a minute, bro." And we would like spend like time just talking and bonding. Unfortunately, bonding over trauma that we had, but also bonding over the fact that we could both sing. Which, unfortunately, for the case of our friend, was not the case. But that's neither here nor there. But we bonded over the love of Beyonce, the love of like all good things.
And we really bonded over realizing that we wanted to do something. Like we always knew it was like, I really want to do something that's impactful with like the talent and gift that we have. Yeah. But we were always like kind of too completely like scared to do it. So we would like come to each other's shows just like for support. Yeah. And it was just like, you know what? I really fuck with him. Because I was like, a lot of people are on some weird, crazy stuff when you're like, hey, yeah, I'll support. And then before you know it, it's some just strange stuff. But it was really cool to see like him come out and like show up to one of like my play at that time. And then it was like really dope to see him out in the crowd. And it was a weird thing that happened that I knew we were going to be like, cool forever, because like my dad was like, who's that guy you said hi to? And mind you, I just said hi to him and thank you for coming, and he left. And I was like, that was my friend. That's my friend. And because like Kerry is one of those people, he cannot hide the fact that he has a little sugar in his tank, he has a little switch in his walk. You know,
I tried.
Okay, and he holds fairy dust in his soul. Okay, but at the end of the day, that's one thing that I was like, that's my friend. And I realized at that moment, I was like, no, that's like I value him coming, and I respect him for coming. So that's my friend. And he had a little couple questions, but I was like, it's cool. But like after that, I was like, yeah, even more to be friends with him, because it just seems right. My dad clearly wasn't making good decisions in his life, so I was like,
well.
But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all of that. Story. Yeah, let's stop there. Okay.
Almost attributing to what you said, Lyndon, about God sending people at the right time, you know, and the fact that you guys were able to bond over, you know, mutual traumas. And that could have been a healing. God could have sent you to each other to help each other heal and grow. So, and I think it shows itself when how you guys handle your personal life, your professional life, and the finished product that we hear is amazing.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see what is next for you guys. So, shall we transition to the music?
Why not?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Shall we? You know, one of the songs that I heard a while back, honey. And I'm still kind of angry too, because I wanted to tell y'all this. I needed more. # I need more. Because when I saw the EP, I was like, I need a whole album. I need a whole album.
No, she might get you.
Okay.
Be patient.
Okay. It might be a little more
exclusive.
You might get a guest room. You know, you never know what will happen.
Oh, I'm here for that.
We've gotten to a place where, like, because you know the EPs are what's happening now. Yeah. My first project was an EP. When we came out with this, we were like, we want to do something that not only first of all, I knew I was going to be on this show, but we were already working on a project prior to me being on this show. And so we was like, let's make sure we have I'm all about putting out something that people can have. And this is, Kerry has this, Lyndon has this, you know, to listen to and go with. But we also wanted to give people an experience. So it's not going to, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Definitely.
Yeah. Did actually, thank you, Aaron, for reminding me. I did want to get into this question real quick. Dating life. Any experiences with dating, good, bad, ugly, that you would like to share? What you've learned about dating? Are you currently in a situationship relationship, or are you seeking that out? Marriage, children. Give us the whole shebang, honey.
Yeah. Them last two, keep it. Where do we start here? You go. I already went first.
I've had a lot of experiences with relationships, and I think that's where a lot of like my experiences come from, and even with my music. because I'm in the process of finishing up a project of mine that I've been working on for a minute. But it's going to be called Relapse and Recovery. And that's because of the relationships that I've had that were, you know, in a sense abusive or toxic or not the best relationships to be in. So at this point, I'm just kind of like focusing on what I really want in life. And I know that sounds like the typical answer of like stuff, but I'm happy, and I'm really happy with me, and I'm discovering who I am. So my relationship is currently with myself and the music, and just trying to figure out what else I want to do, and how I'm going to do it. So that's what I'm doing.
That's a good answer.
So real quick, so if you were to seek out someone, what would be your ideal date or, you know, man to be with?
I love you did that because I saw a question in the chat. Yeah, he like the boys.
I do. I do. No.
What that baby said. The baby said in the chat. Yeah, he like the boys.
I do. But no, I really enjoy somebody who's like honest, funny, in touch with who they are, you know. And then so when I say that, I don't care if you're like masculine, feminine, like as long as you have a good grasp of who you are and you can express that and be confident in that, that to me is the biggest turn on, being yourself. And I think that is what I respect. And if I respect you, then I know that like, hey, we can make something happen. So yeah, honesty, funny, somebody who's loyal, who have a sense of, I guess, empathy and understanding. Because I always think that understanding, if you understand someone, then you take the time to care, which ultimately, you know, equals love. So that's all I'm looking for. Nothing too crazy.
I like that. That was a good answer.
Okay, I'm feeling that. Thank you so much for answering.
Thank you.
Now, relapse and recovery is reminiscent of, obviously, you went through some things in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 29.
So, okay, that's where you're at in your life. See, once you get to the threshold of 30, let me tell you, and I'm 32 now. When I hit 30, it was like this wave of spiritual growth and maturity hit me, and it was just like things that I won't no longer accept in my life. And sometimes it's okay to just sit with yourself, and you're in that process, and that shows that growth, and it shows, you know, what it is you're trying to do with your life. And I'm here for it, because sometimes people, they get so codependent on relationships, they don't know what it is to be alone, and when they're finally stuck by themselves, they go to looking fucking crazy.
I thought you were about to I didn't mean my bad.
Tried it. But no, exactly. Like I'm in the phase where I'm like learning boundaries. Boundaries are like something that I've been working on for a very long time. So listen, a lot of stuff just, it doesn't fly like it used to when I was younger, because I have a lot of patience and a high tolerance for abuse. I don't know how, but I think that's my trauma growing up. But I've learned a lot, you know, and I'm happy with discovering me, and I'm happy with being alone. I'm happy with loving the people that are around me that love me back, you know, and when that happens, it happens, you know?
Facts.
So, yeah.
Amen. Carrie?
What's the question?
Oh, Lord. Just basically relationships. Have you been in any? What did you learn from them? The good, the bad, the ugly? And what do you look, if you're not currently in this situation, what are you looking for? I mean, what would you look for if you were looking?
Gotcha. I have been in relationships. My first project was about a 7-year relationship I was in. What I learned from that one was to have a voice. Like I was in a relationship trying to please the other person again out of survival. You know, you do what you got to do to stay where you got to stay. I was 17 when we moved in, and I think he knew it too. But I mean, I had love for him, but you know, over time it was more like I needed to find love for myself, and really find what that voice, what I wanted to say and what I wanted to do with it, right? So that was then, and then I tried a relationship right after that, and it didn't go that well because I took all those lessons I learned and I thought I was applying it towards the next one, and I kind of went off. It was every little thing you like. Some people just give constructive criticism. I wasn't taking it.
You sound like me, honey.
The Pisces in me was like, "Oh no, fuck that! And nobody telling me shit. I'm gonna do what I want to." And then, you know, we just stopped talking. We cool now, but you know, it took a minute. So I learned to also adjust. You know, like just per situation, like. when somebody's for you, when somebody's not for you. If I'm in a relationship, you know, I would want to be with somebody who is taller than me. That's
Anybody throw a rock.
Shut up. No, shut up. Taller than me. Have a sense of self as well as driven. I love a person who is driven in their own goals, who never gets settled with being with me, or you know, in their current situation. Where are you wanting to go? You know, I want to know that about you, because I always, as much as I want to be helped to grow, I want to help and nurture, and you know, and cultivate. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Well, I think too, going back to that 7-year relationship and then jumping into something, I think first you were young. Second, you also have to think like when you get into anything new, you have to shed yourself of the old way, because every relationship is different. Every person you're going to encounter is going to be different. But I feel you though, because those are the things you learn along the way.
Yeah.
That end up preparing you for your mate. You know,
right? I wanted him to be my mate so bad, because it was like my 7-year relationship was cool, but it was like, oh, this was a step up. Like okay, sir, we're doing it. And then it was like, oh no, I messed it up.
Oh, my fault.
My fault. Oh. But it's funny because he and I had a conversation about this recently, where I was like, I thank him for pushing me to grow. Because even though it didn't work out with me and him, it still taught me to be a better me. You know what I mean? I took the lesson in that. I learned to attack the work and not attack myself. You know, like we get self-deprecating about certain things. Why did it didn't work? I must be X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, this is a situation. This is what happened. Can I be better at it? Sure. I'm gonna be better I'm going to be better in my next relationship, but I'm also gonna be better right where I'm at, who I am right now. How can I make me better?
Yeah, definitely. Even with mine was kind of like the opposite. Like everyone made it seem like it was my fault. Like the people that were with the people that my exes, they made it seem like it was my fault why they were upset. But in actuality, it was all on them and their situation and what they were going through, and they projected it and put it on me. Then also, when you stay in those situations, that's when you have to start taking accountability for yourself and realizing that, whoa, why am I attracting this energy? Why do they feel like it's okay to talk to me this way? Why, you know, stuff like that. So you learn a lot either way. Like right now, even though my lesson with them was just pretty much like the boundaries and also knowing who I am as a person, knowing my worth. And when you know your worth, you don't accept less than. And if you do, then that's
sure the fuck no.
You know, we all have lessons that we go through and we still learning it, but it's your fault. You have yourself in the mirror, you know, and realize what you're doing, see if you can be better, you know. So
yeah.
Y'all gave a word, honey. Let me tell you something. The community should definitely, and just not just the community, every goddamn body should be really be looking at life that way, because you get to that point where you have no choice, because if you don't, you're going to be what I consider a late bloomer, and the road is going to be really hard for you as you get older, because if you don't learn these simple life lessons, well, not simple, but some of them are,
you realize on the other side how simple it is. How simple it was on the other side.
When you're in the midst of it, it's hard. But when you overcome it, you're like, oh, damn, that's all I needed to do.
The society already put certain roadblocks in us. So we already late developing as it is, because we don't, like I was saying earlier, we didn't experience the way to truly be able to love another person, especially in the LGBT community until I got older, we got older, right? And when we did it, it was very much, myself. When I did it, was very much through the eyes of, it's sex, or it's this. There's no intimate connection here or whatnot. But then it was like you start longing for these things. You know, you start longing for a real connection, not just
what's up? What you doing? What you doing? If somebody send another, what do you do? A text message. Like we've already I realized I enjoyed getting to know people, their story and their background and where they came from, because like, what are you doing? It's like it goes nowhere. Like, you're attractive, you're cute. Let's send pictures back and forth. Okay, but what do we have outside of that? Like, what can we build from this? What type of foundation can we have? Like, what what can we do with that? Like, with just, oh, you're cute, let me see your pictures. Oh, you'll look really good on my Instagram. But like, it's more to that, you know? And you realize, oh, I really want somebody that I can talk to and talk about the weirdest shit. Like, I can be in one spot and go all around the world with this one person. Yeah. And that's the magic of like.
But maybe the crazy ones.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Child, who you telling? Honey, let me tell you. That's for damn sure. But I guess before we get into the music, I would like to know, who do you guys look to? Who inspired you growing up musically?
Oh, I love Brandy, Rochelle Farrell, Phyllis Hyman, Donny Hathaway is like, to me, the male voice that I'm like, when I hear this, just so soulful but so honest, and that's what I really love about his voice. Tank, of course, it's just he's just dope. Like, and a lot of like artists that aren't really like super known, but like they've been like background singers for other people, like G Noble, or even who else, like
Jay
Nova. Like, it's just a lot of people coming up that I seen on YouTube like back in the day, and they're like out here chasing their dream really hard. So I admire that, and that's who like influenced me, like, honestly. Oh, and also Sia and Celine Dion.
Oh yes. Well, Celine Dion. Yeah. Me. So I grew up in church. So it started off with Shirley Caesar, and I know there's a weird place to start. But
Greens, beans, tomatoes, yes, honey, you name it.
That was my granny's favorite singer. So it was one of those. Al Green. Mm-hmm. I know that's unrelated to church, but Al Green, Shirley Caesar, John P. Key.
Come on.
Fred Hammond. So I live in Fort Worth. Well, we live between Dallas and Fort Worth, and I went to school at the same high school that Kirk Franklin went to. I know. I always like to put that at the and taught under the same teacher.
Drop that name, honey.
Under the tutelage. But I also got to sing behind him because of the school I went to. So it was like that Melanie. There's a lady named Melody Daniels.
So dope.
Love her down. Mm-hmm. The Clark sisters.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see. And then, of course, Beyonce, yes. Whitney. I'm scoping. Mint Condition. I don't know if y'all grew up listening to Mint Condition. Pretty Brown Eyes was my shit. Or I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. Tone, or he was Tone. Now he's B Slade.
Yes.
I grew up listening to like all of that. Donny Hathaway came later on. I did enjoy that. Mm-hmm. Layla Hathaway was my bitch. I love her down. Sorry, we could do this a lot.
Okay.
All day.
I feel disrespected because I've yet to hear Mariah Carey, honey. Okay. You know, that's my bitch.
So I'm sure you know I'm mixed, right? So I had this moment where I was for everybody mixed. Everybody was black and white, Halle Berry, Mariah Carey. And so Mariah Carey, especially her high notes, especially because, you know, she liked to hit high notes. So, you know.
Yes.
But so she was very much an inspiration. I just didn't like she spanned decades. So I don't feel like it was appropriate to put her in this character. I didn't study her the way I studied other artists.
Oh, that's fine. That's the queen.
I wasn't the
She will always be the queen.
Okay.
Always. Yes. Okay. As long as we can take her to brunch and make sure she doesn't hold her chat.
Okay. You got the brunch, girl.
Yes, God. I've only been to brunch like twice in my life.
Really?
Now that I think about it, I don't get up, that early for that shit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm from Florida, so we have IHOP and Denny's that's 24 hours, child. So you can have breakfast, lunch all together if you really feel it. Hallelujah.
Listen, you got to get the mimosa started so you can drink throughout the day. It's a whole thing.
Especially here in Dallas,
I love a mimosa.
Thanks. Here in Dallas, we got this thing where you start in one spot and it just travels. Everybody travel to a certain, like cattle. We just travel together.
Like you see me at the spot.
Sorry.
So real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to play the official music video for Ghost.
Hey.
And then when we get done with it, I'm gonna, I want to do a breakdown.
Okay.
Of the song, what inspired the song, even if it seems obvious, because again, some of these songs we know what the message is, okay, but you never know what the thought process is, and just walk us through your process, and and being in a group too, agreeing on how to approach something.
Okay.
How is that, real quick?
Okay, so we work really well together, right? We do. So it's not any major like spats, but it's like small stupid stuff. Like we're like, no, why would you do that there? And we're like, because that makes sense, because this is how I felt. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to make sense and feel like that's supposed to. And like, this is like the technical like king right here. And so I get it and I know it, but I'm like, no, but I felt it this way. He said, that's great, but
You can feel it how you want.
But it has to sound good.
We got to make sure that they hear it.
Okay.
They hear what you're trying to say.
But no, it's like stupid stuff, like, or like a word or something that just doesn't sound right, or like, let's flip it this way or flip it that way. And we're like, okay. And we have to come to some middle ground.
Right. And we come to different type of approaches. Like I'm very traditional R&B. Like I live for Kelly Price. I live for a good melodic type of follow, right? And he is very vibey. Like, he'll give you not I won't say Erica.
I know the Janae Aiko vibe.
Yeah, he'll give it. And so we just like, how do we merge this and so that it makes the sense? And then especially when it came to Ghost, which we'll get to it, it was one of those things where we started and it was like, oh girl, this is cute.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nasty.
Yeah.
You know?
And sometimes just it flows well, you know? Sometimes it's just it will write itself. Like sometimes it's just literally put on some mood lights, play some, some tracks that we have, and then it's like it just comes out. And it's like, oh, that was it. And then just make sure like you catch it. It's like, okay, now can we do that again?
Record it.
Record it. Yeah. And then we're like, oh, that was so good. We like that. And it just, but also you learn something each and every time from somebody doing something. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that run like that. Oh, do it again, and let's add this to it. And so it's also great to be able to support bringing out the best in each other too. So that was dope. Thanks. But then he's hard-headed, really hard-headed.
Is there ever any competition to who thinks they can sing better?
No, definitely. I respect, like for instance, like I respect this man's gift. For number one, it's hard to get on the stage with Kerry in general because he just sings down. Like, and I just be like, listen here, sir. I'm just here to just bop alongside with you.
Stop. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Which I definitely took a different approach with this project than my last one, because I definitely wanted to show people I could have a low range, that I could vibe out in a way that the girls are doing nowadays. I'm just kidding. But to deal with him, we have this thing with ourselves. He'll call me Whitney, and I'll call him Donnie. Like we just like, it's one of those things. But I respect his gift and his voice is it, and then his texture. Okay. I'm sure we're gonna talk about it, but the texture in his voice is one of those things where it's like everybody can't do that. Everybody got that kind of velvet that. Who is doing that? Nobody's doing that.
Let me tell you something. The moistness that the kids are always saying that they feel. And we ain't talking about no trombone voice ass Trey Songz or some cracked out August Alsina vocals. We're talking about real, and let's keep it real, mint condition, 1990s, sing you down, but will fuck the life out of your ass at the same damn time, honey. Hello, God.
Hello.
I hate to be so vulgar with it, but that's just what hit me. Amen.
Same. Imagine just being there, just listening to him do it. It's like, all right, sir, turn it down, girl. Ain't nobody in here for you. Calm down, sweetie.
Imagine those studio sessions. You have to like imagine something, because in order to get that deep and to get into the mode to carry a song that has a sexual nature to it, you have no choice but to have the imagery. So I can imagine you got to get into it. You got to get into character.
He's dramatic as shit. It don't matter. Whatever the mode is, it could be a sad song, a happy song. It could be a very sexual song. His dramatic ass is gonna put this energy into the room. and I'm just sitting there like, oh, okay.
You just have to like.
You just let me know where I can come in and just sing.
You just have to tap in.
But
I love it though. I love it. I love the process, and I think that's in terms of music, I love the old way of doing things, because it was right back then. Nowadays you don't get. That's what I love about your guys' sound. It's very reminiscent of back then, but it's still your own. It's
Yeah.
an updated version of that, and
Yes.
it's so soulful but yet sensual, and it does make you think. And I'm here for it, honey. So shall we get into Ghost?
Let's get into
Let's
it.
do it.
Hey.
Get into Ghost real quick. Everyone, this is going to be Ghost, honey. This is their official music video, honey. Let's get into it, honey. I'm trying to be all Barbara, trying to explain
Come on,
myself.
Barbara Williams. God.
There we go. Yeah, funny. I remember you said it in the chat yesterday. I love it.
Yes.
Let's get
He
into
called
it.
it. I'm proud of him.
Y'all can hear it?
The person you are attempting to reach is not available. Please leave your name, number, and a short message at the end of the tone.
Where you go, when you go. We were talking yesterday and I'm no more. Where you go, you and ghost. With no warning or no sign, what was the cause? Where you go, when you go. We were talking yesterday and I'm no more. Where you go, you and ghost. Now it's R.I.P. someone I used to know. Now you're a ghost. Feeling like I did something wrong. Tempted to blow up your phone. You're acting like I didn't know you at all. Couldn't get you to stop, you was begging and pleading. Now you got what you needed. Boy, you tried to hurt my feelings. Now you got a villain. Better hope I don't see you again. Cause you just lost what you ever had. No homie, no lover, no friend. I'm a Pisces, I'll never forget. And I'll never pretend, and I'll never go back. So good luck with that. Digging through the remnants of my past. Where you go, we were talking yesterday and I'm no more. Where you go, baby? You and ghost. Oh, with no warning or no sign, what was the cause? Where you go, when you go. We were talking yesterday, baby. Where you go? Tell me. You and ghost. Now it's someone I used to know. Now you're a
She left me on red. Now all I see is red. Your math is just not adding up. It doesn't equal to what you said. So now we got a problem, and you left me here to solve it. I regret that I even tried. Now it's me, myself, and I change the name in my phone to the one I used to know. Maybe it should be Houdini, cause it's all an illusion to me. Maybe it got too real. Put a light up to your fears. Baby, how could you leave me here? Where did you go?
When you go. We were talking yesterday and I'm no more.
Yeah.
Where you go?
Where'd you go?
You and ghost.
You and ghost.
With no warning or no sign, what was the cause?
You should've warned me.
Where you go? When you go.
When you go.
We were talking yesterday and I know
We're talking yesterday.
Where you go,
baby.
You and ghost. Now it's R.I.P. someone I used to know. Now you're a ghost.
I know it sounds stupid, but I kind of miss our good morning
Now
and good night texts. Talking throughout the day, sending random pictures and gifts and memes and, really getting to know each other. So if you couldn't keep that same energy, then why would you waste my time with your raggedy... I said I won't go do that. But I guess you couldn't really invest after the free trial. I should have talked to your friend. He's still in my DMs, right? Yeah. What's up, DeAndre?
Voicemail full.
Oh, child, not DeAndre, child. That was Shade. That was
Hey.
Shade. Who's DeAndre?
Who is DeAndre?
DeAndre could be either the friend in the DMs or DeAndre could be the one that goes to you. That's who DeAndre is.
I had a DeAndre once. He was a fuck nigga. So that hit me hard.
And well, there you go.
He had a good dick child now that I think about it. He had, the thing. He stole $40 from me one time and I ran him over with my sister's van. Sure did. Ran that bitch over with my sister's van. He was coming out the weed hole because I knew exactly where he was going to go get some weed. So it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Hallelujah, bitch. And I'll never forget it. When I was living in the mean streets of Atlanta, Georgia, honey. Yes, God. And I remember, and I had that Mazda MPV. Hello, God. That van was fast as shit. And had the kids' car seats in the back and all. I didn't give a fuck. Yeah. And I ran that bitch over and I dragged him to the sidewalk and beat the shit out of him. Took the weed, took the goddamn money, and stripped him butt naked in the streets and called the police and said the crackheads were loose, honey.
Oh no! Not the crackheads were loose. Oh, they're loose.
All the picture closed.
Not the crackheads.
Hashtag true story. Unfortunately,
DeAndre. That is the DeAndre in your story.
So let's get into this song. I mean, what was the motivation behind it? The inspiration? Like, can you just get into it, honey? Because I just love this project. I love the video. I love the vibe. I just love everything about it. And please just go ahead, honey. Take it away.
I mean, we've all been ghosted. Yeah. Or experienced ghosting. I mean, ghosted.
Okay, been on either side of it. And it just was like, we was listening to the track and we was like, yeah. It's getting very, somebody left. And so I was like just coming up with it and it was like ghosting. And then sometimes it's like it happens a lot, especially like not just in our community, but like for everyone. Like somebody's just leaving you red or leading you on, and then when they lead you on, they just disappear out of nowhere. And that feeling is real, it could be like 4 months, it could be 3 months, it could be like I thought we was really building something, but like that hit a certain way. And it was like, why not? Why not? Don't hear a lot of songs about ghosting. So I was like, why not?
And I mean, especially in the body of our project, right? We want, like, I from my perspective, I always like to tell some sort of story. So imagine you having a good time, you done blew the person's mind, and all of a sudden, poof, they done ghosted you. It's like,
where'd you go?
None of this makes sense. Like, and then like it's like what energy comes up out of that? Especially like when we have moments where, again, like I told you, he's dramatic. So we tend.
Hold on, there was a moment where I slid down a wall or a mirror, and it did not get put into the video, and I was so upset because I said I just need the dramatic slide down the wall.
But shout out to Lamont because he did his thing.
Definitely, super dope.
But yes, he loved an opportunity to slide down somebody's wall. But when we listen to take how you want to. But when we listened to the song, it was one of those things where when we came up with the concept, it was like, okay, ghosting. What energy does that bring out of you? Because it's like I can only imagine how pissed off I would be the moment I know I see you out. And I know you done see my text message.
I see you tweeting.
Exactly. I know you're not playing with me in my face.
Directly. You liking pictures? What's going on? I know that seems a little crazy.
And I'm one of the people, like, my energy is as soon as I know that's how you're acting, no, keep that same energy. No, we good. Yeah. No. Because the moment you start switching up, I'm going to fuck you up.
Exactly. And then sometimes you genuinely want to know, are you okay? Like, because sometimes if people do ghost and they have, like, we all have mental issues sometimes. but oh, no, listen. And also it's an experience that has happened to one of us. But we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, like, people have their moments where they need to, like, they feel like they need to, regroup and find themselves, and they don't let you know. And then sometimes you're like, you were the one that started this. Like, you started this. You wanted to create something. You wanted to build something with me. And like, I was down, or even like you said you're okay. You were down to like pretty much get to know each other. And then out of nowhere, it's like it became too much for you.
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal?
What's up?
The games these niggas play, it kills my fucking spirit because, like you said, we're following the direction.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing what we're supposed to do. You created this image of who you are that has me so enveloped in you, and then you start acting like I don't exist. Chitty chitty bang bang. I'm coming for your life, bitch. No God. I have to get something.
Who do you think you are? No, but so that Ghost is like it's one of my favorite songs on the project. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, mine too.
It's just so dramatic and so one of the. It's like a lot of people tell us it's like every time they hear it, they already are immediately and they feel it.
Yeah, are angry.
And they're like, that's the purpose.
Yeah,
we want you to like
feel again. Like we want people to feel. Like we don't want to make music. Like Blow Your Mind to me was like cute to be like, let's enjoy ourselves, let's have a good time. But then
nobody wants to feel anything.
I want you to dive into this EP and realize we're talking about like real shit. Like shit that really happens in our lives.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And it's okay to feel that way.
Because you're not the only one, and maybe that might be the song to help you like get through it, and that's kind of like what we always want. Like
if you need somebody to ride out, I got you.
Okay,
you know, it's one of those.
Like you wouldn't have a Mary J. Blige or Jasmine Sullivan or like the people that really talked about their feelings if you know if they didn't like take that chance of like, no, I want people to. This is how I felt. Okay, like this is how I felt, and I want to explain it, and maybe somebody else is going through the same thing. Yeah.
It's crazy because like I love the EP because it's well balanced, and I think that the sexual prowess that sometimes is, I hate to always put it on our community, but it is, you know, we go there sometimes in the sexual world, and I think that's a part of our journey. You know, we have a slut phase. We have a moment where, again, for me and my trauma, and as you guys explained earlier too, that's how I was able to cope with certain things that I was going through. Again, I didn't realize it until after the fact that I was trying to fill a void, something I was missing in my life, or just to have to deal and process certain shit that I went through. But when you grow, as we talked about earlier, as we grow, we learn from that behavior. So I like it though. I think you need that element in there because again, we all can relate to it, and it's a fun song. Who doesn't want their fucking mind blown, bitch? Hello, God, honey. Like that's the.
Okay.
If you're gonna sex me,
but I'm glad you said that because it's one of those things where it's like we know that was gonna be a song that the girls were gonna jump on.
Yeah,
Boy, Blow Your Mind. It was a song that came easily to us,
and let's not like pretend here. We love fucking like yeah,
buddy.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like we all love we love sex. Like we're not gonna act like we're just prudes and we're just like we're not out here, you know, making connections. But like it's real. Like, you know, you get a little bit of this, you get a little bit of that, you know, whether you're exclusive with someone, whether you just feel like you might just need to have a little moment, you know. So but it's like at the end of the day we have sex.
Yeah. And that should also be a part of the process.
Yeah.
It should not be excluded. It not be looked at as not too important. It's also be like, okay, you have this, but also take the medicine also.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried this before a while back when I did a video. I don't think it'll allow me to play the same song over, but I did want to touch a little bit on Brunch. I did play, for those that are just joining us and that didn't catch the intro, I played their song Brunch in my intro. So because I don't want to get flagged if that is something that could happen to me, and I think it did happen for a while. Can you give us a breakdown of Brunch real quick? Because I love that song. Speaking of partying, speaking of just like getting out of your head and having a good time, break down Brunch, honey. And if y'all haven't had a chance to get into Brunch, get into it, bitch. And don't forget your motherfucking chapstick. Hello, God.
Bloop.
Exactly.
So this is your baby. Go on.
Listen, no, we were like, yeah, it is. We're talking and we was like, because we're gay artists. Like that's the thing. We're gay artists, you know. So we was like, what is something that we do like all the time? It was like we love to brunch. We love a good brunch. We love to like feel our best, you know. Like I think the world beats us up. I know it seems it's not that deep, but like the world beats us up all the time. That sometimes you want to go out, you want to look good, you want to smell good, you want to feel good, you want to have a couple of shots, you want to have some mimosas, chop it up with your friends, and like really let your hair down and not have a care in the world. And so for me, that's what brunch is. It's like go out there, what is it? Have a good time with your fellow LGBTQIA community and have a good time. Yeah. And even, you know, compliment somebody else and say, "Hey, listen, I might be extra, you extra too. Come on, let's do brunch.
Yeah,
you look good. Compliment somebody."
I love that you said that. But in the like I said, in the body of a project, right? I thought of how it was already flowing. You start off real good with Blow Your Mind, and then we go into some deep shit, right? Like, it wasn't a long project. It was like we didn't want to leave you on all the hard work. It was like you done worked hard to get to communicate. Now let's have fun. Let's brunch it up. You know, like, and most of us we deal with shit throughout the week. We deal with shit all the way. Mm-hmm. You need that one time and be like, hell yeah. Fuck this shit up. And the beat, when we heard the beat, it was like, oh fuck yes.
It's a no-brainer.
We need an anthem. We need an anthem. And let's just say this isn't the last you're going to hear of brunch.
Definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll just say that.
I'm here for. I need one more rooftop video. All the kids out there in their Sunday best. The servers are shirtless. Amen. And there's just nothing but a party.
Yes. Listen, we're gonna give y'all more skin and stuff later. We're gonna have more skin on our videos.
I know y'all caught my review of Blow Your Mind when it first came out, right? Mm-hmm. And I know y'all heard what I said. When I hear a song like that, visually speaking, yes, the video was great. But I needed some shirts to be off. I needed some bodies to be oiled. Yes, God.
Now we had a version that was that.
Yeah, like we wanted whips, chains,
all of that.
Whipped cream.
Our budget did not allow.
Not only that,
Party City.
Oh, we're not the Party City girls. No. You see the quality of our video, girl. We're not Party City girls. We're gonna put the budget behind it. But
not only that, but then we got more of a vibe, and we were like, we want more of a vibe. Like, we wanted to be in a room of like everybody could feel this way, you know? Like, and we were watching That's the Way Love Goes by Janet Jackson. Yeah. And it's just a vibe, and everybody, whoever they're loving and whoever they're like vibing with, you just felt it. Yeah. You felt the room.
It didn't matter that there were gay people, there were trans, there was straight people.
I was here for it.
I was too.
It made me feel like I was at a kickback or something.
Yeah.
Chilling, mixing and mingling.
You know, see that on the show, but that's neither here nor there. But because when I tell you my party was the shit, that video shoot was the shit.
It was fun.
Fuck anything else that may have happened on the show. That was a lit party.
It was a good time.
But that's either here nor there. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not here to talk about that. Anyway,
bring it in.
Sorry. Anywho, but no. Also, we were letting people listen to the song prior to putting the song out, right? And there were just straight people. There was other people who weren't gay. Was like, I fuck with this song. I don't care that I know that this is a dude talking about getting fucked. Whatever. I fuck with it. I can play this shit right now. It was like. It inspired us to be like, we can make a statement with this song. Yeah. Because it was like, if you look at the video, if you like really invest in the video, you see that there's everyone in there. Yeah. Everyone there are able to be in one space and be copacetic and enjoy each other and not make this weird thing. Yeah. We can all enjoy our sexuality in one room and be whoever we are in there and be, like it made so much sense once we saw the finished product. Yeah, like I had my brother on set with his baby mama, and then like it was having a good time. It was like, and then like even exposing them to a new world as well, because, and let's be honest, there's certain people, I won't say just them, but there are certain people like if there was someone that's trans or gay, a full room of like gay people, like they're like, oh, I wasn't used to that, but it was like, y'all cool as shit. Like, and even if you didn't get our approval, we were like, this is us. So if anybody had a problem with what we were doing in that room, you had to go because that's not the energy we wanted. And so it's just like, it was just a good vibe and a good time. Now I would have made like one edit on that video. What? But that's neither here nor there. What is that? Somebody wouldn't have been on there, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, okay. And we had that version too, but I was being the bigger person in that situation. I'm not gonna say the person's gonna say the person. Sure, go ahead and say it. It ain't no harsh parade. Yeah, who I'm talking about. No, we don't want nothing to rain on your parade. I really enjoyed that video, especially with hearing your explanation about it now. That's breaking barriers. That's what I call #impact, by being able to have everyone from every walk of life in the same room, not giving a fuck about no negative vibes, just chilling and having a good time. So I'm here for that. Yeah. I really am.
You ready to go to the next song? I want to play Communicate. I
Yeah.
want to communicate because this song, oh child, it resonates with me. It just resonates with me. Hallelujah, bitch. And I think people that have gone through some things, that are going through some things or similar, you can relate to, bitch. Okay. Now this one is going to be done off of my phone, so
Yeah, look at this.
we ain't got to do all that.
You got it.
Ding ding ding.
Guys, this is going to be their song off their EP again, Boys Next Door. This song is called Communicate, Honey. Pay attention. Hallelujah, bitch. Oh, you stupid bitch.
Why am I always the one to start these conversations? I'm not saying you're not trying, but it's getting lazy.
Baby, if you weren't so temperamental and go off the hinge every time I mention something that you don't like, then maybe I would try.
No, let's not act like I'm the bad guy. Like I'm a toilet that just can't play nice. I give you the world day and night. Well, at least I will try.
All I hear is you trying, but all we're doing is fighting. That shit gets really tired. What you really want?
Well, if you're tired of fighting, take a moment of silence, because words can be violent. Let's calm the storm. I know you want to leave, but baby, stay with me. I won't let you down if you just let me know how I can be down.
I need you to listen. I need you to care. Don't walk away, baby. Be there. No matter how hard it takes, we both have to communicate. 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 Communicate.
Everybody's always up in our business, all in your ear telling you how to end this. We just signed our lease 1 year, you'll see. This is now business, baby.
See how you play another game. You gon' make me turn my laptop, burn this bitch today. Tender love and care is only fair. If you really cared, all I really need is you
Baby, I'm
there.
not trying to hurt your feelings. I just get scared that you're not in this. When you're always ready to grab your bags, that's when I go off on that ass. Yeah.
So sorry, baby.
Why
Don't wanna
would you
leave,
leave?
but if I don't, I'm scared to hurt
Not
me.
gonna hurt you,
So
baby.
sorry,
Just
baby.
wanna love you, baby.
Don't wanna
If
leave,
you let me,
but if
baby.
I don't, I'm scared to leave me.
I know you want to leave, but baby, stay with me. I won't let you down if you just let me know how I can be down.
I need you to listen. I need you to care. Don't walk away, baby. Be there. No matter how hard it takes, we both have to communicate. 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 Communicate.
Let me tell
Yes.
you, bitch.
Yeah.
Y'all spoke to my soul, honey. Let me tell you. Obviously, we know what the song's about, but please, what is your perspective? What was your thoughts behind creating this song?
You want to start this one out?
I guess well having a conversation with like Kerry, like understanding that like we've both been in relationships where we realized the reason why it didn't work was because of communication, like the lack thereof. It was like the lack thereof communication, and it was just like but everybody has their side.
Mhm.
You know.
And we were talking like certain conversations happen and they're not as honest as they need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, why are you hurt? You're not hurt because the person didn't say something. You're mad because they're not willing to stick it out. Or you like there are certain reasons that people do they do a disservice, and I hate having conversations with people.
Yeah.
When it's like, don't tell me this issue when it's not the issue, this issue over here that you really were not willing to address.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, if that's the issue, then just say that.
Because you can't make anything better if you don't communicate. And then, like, for me, I'm a person that shuts down. I used to. I'm getting better, but I'm a person that, like, if I know it's going in the wrong direction, I will shut completely down. And also, even though you're not participating in the back and forth, you're not coming up with any resolve in the situation. So you got to talk it out, even when it's uncomfortable.
Agreed. Now, communicate almost didn't make it.
Communicate was almost called conversate and thrown in the trash.
But
why?
It was just
let me tell you something. I've listened to all of these songs, and all of them are obviously great.
Oh, thank you.
But when I hear, I guess because it's resonating with me in this current moment in my life, because I'm kind of experiencing something like that, it's probably my favorite thus far. But like,
it was for a few reasons. It was for a few, like, so. We had an original date to release our project of September 11th. It made sense to me. Everything in my head, the wheels were turning. September 11th should be the day we release everything.
Yeah.
September 11th came. We put out Wilderness because something just wasn't falling right.
Yeah.
And was it Communicate or was it? So I think it was either Communicate or another song. It was Communicate and Brunch.
Yeah.
Both of those songs were not done. And so it was like, shit, we got to push it back a little because I don't put out no half-ass project, and he don't either. But but it was like we came back to it, and I kind of had this envision for Communicate to be like a Kiki Wyatt Avant type song. And for me and for him, that's an experimental situation. We had to write so that we could bounce off each other.
Yeah. Like an actual conversation. And
then there were so many things we wanted to do in the background, and this was so. Just to give a little backstory without telling too much, my first project was produced by one producer. Me and that producer helped put my first project together. This project, we dealt with a total of 3 producers.
Yeah.
And we were learning how to speak in these places.
Yeah.
Because it was like, what do you want? We're like, I was willing to. I can hit whatever note you want me to hit. You tell me what to do, I'll go ahead and do it. You know what song I'm writing. Just tell me how I make it better. That's how it was. But this time I was like, we want to make this our project. Yeah. We want to make sure it has our sound. Nobody else influenced it. Yeah. We tell you what we want. Yeah. But even with Communicate, there were so many other things we wanted to do as far as background, as far as other things. Yeah. And when we got this version, we liked it, but we didn't know how everybody else was gonna take it. And so it was like, it's not exactly what we want, but we'll put it out. Yeah. But it was decent enough to put out. But but we glad that everybody
we look at each other all the time and we be like, bitch. If we
Communicate is my favorite.
Because we stressed out like over it. Like Kerry, let's go listen to the song one more time. Let's see what we can do, what we can, and sometimes it's just you gotta let it tell its own story. And then that's what it was. And we're so happy and so grateful that everybody really enjoys what Communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. We have a lot of artists where they go through those moments where I think you get so caught up in listening to your own music, everything has to be next level every time you approach it. But if you just take a minute and take a step away from it, or let someone that hasn't heard it before listen to it, you'll be surprised. Like, bitch, we're here for it.
And we were scared to do that because, we let people hear Blow Your Mind. Yeah. I think did we let people hear Ghosts?
A little bit.
I think so. And we let our close circle kind of hear those. Yeah. But when it got down to the last 2, it was like,
we just gonna let them.
We just got to hear what everybody because it was getting too wide, and I didn't want anyone else's opinion to sway what we already had. Yeah. It was one of those things where it was like, okay,
are we proud of what we're putting out?
Facts.
And we had a conversation. It was like, yeah, we can stand on this project and be like, I'm proud of it. We did not half-ass it. We put our all into it. Even these are real situations, and it's it's funny because Kerry sometimes hate being vulnerable, but I love it. but like he hates it, so like it was really good to see him like also be more vulnerable on tracks and like just like write out and be like, this is how I really feel, instead of trying to like put it in a way that's a little bit more, you know, sugarcoating it in a way. But yeah, it's more.
I love the energy you guys give off. And excuse me for saying this if I'm totally wrong, but what I get from the music, and I think I mentioned this a while back in a review of a project you guys had going on, I get there's a balance of feminine, masculine, but it's all masculine. It's different levels of, because you know we are a duality as men. We have femininity in us and we have masculinity in us. So I like that you guys play off of each other. Like I get real top energy from Lyndon, and I get real bottom, I will whoop your ass energy from Kerry. You know, and I'm here for that. Is that the intention behind it?
Intention, I wouldn't say like complete intention, but like that's who we are. Well, that's who I know who we are when we're going into this. Like we're not switching up. Like no, don't get me wrong. Real quick, if put on some Beyonce, we're here. Listen, but there's no shame in my game.
Two big ass bottoms over.
Look, and there will be no bottom shaming.
No bottom shaming.
Listen, my bottoms, I love you. I'm just kidding. But no, really, it's one of those situations like just be you. Like that's the thing. If you are at your moment where you're masculine, be that. If you are feminine in the moment, be that. If you're can run between both and be okay with that, be that. Like,
and I think Blow Your Mind and Communicate definitely embodies that vision, because I know that a lot of times, like I said, like my initial vision for Communicate was a very Avant Kiki Wyatt situation where you can somebody had to be away and didn't do the ad libs, but it's not my problem. Okay. But anyway, sorry, I'm a little triggered.
It's okay.
But no, those two songs really embodied that vision as far as like you clearly there's gonna be somebody fucking, so clearly there's gonna be somebody getting fucked. Yeah. So you know, I want to be able to understand both. You can if you understand both perspectives, that's lovely for you. But in most cases, they're the top, they're the bottom. Or in most relationships, there is the masculine energy and there's the feminine energy. It doesn't mean that's everybody's situation, but hey, most people can relate to this situation.
Exactly. I agree. Perfect.
Thank you.
I know that's right. I definitely feel that. I appreciate it. And I think the audience appreciates it. I think your target audience will appreciate that. And one thing I love about the music so far is, like you kind of touched on earlier with the Blow Your Mind video, I feel like anyone can listen to this. I don't feel like it's just exclusively, for the gay community. I think straight people can listen to it because people don't realize we all, even though we're gay, we go through the same things in our relationships and our self-discovery process as well. It's not different. It's actually kind of like the same fucking thing. That's why I'm kind of mad we all don't get along innately, because I feel like we should.
But let's not make any like error or any mistake. It is for us though, ultimately. But like at the end of the day, like, if you relate because, we're all human, then that's beautiful. Like get into like the quality of what we're trying to put out. Like, our, hard work that we put in, and like, just trying to like, just make people feel again, like we said, but that is the key.
And I feel like we need that more than anybody. Right. The best way I can explain it is I grew up listening to women talk about their relationship with men. Yeah. No one adjusted themselves for gay people. Exactly. No one like bit themselves out of the way to be like, this is for everybody. But yet, even when I was 16, I was signed and I was expected to write through a perspective of a straight guy. And I was like, I'm not straight. I can write a song for a girl in a minute. Okay. Experience. You know what I mean? Or I could write for the other side too, but it's not my cup of tea. It's not my joy. Right. You don't expect me to sing that. But it's one of those things where, just like I was able to understand a Kelly Price song about how she felt with her man, how I was able to understand a Beyonce song, how she felt with her man, or how a guy felt about his girl. You can, if you can't see it, you're stupid. I'm sorry, but I deal with this especially with a lot of people who are in our community, but for some reason don't label themselves as gay artists, which I don't care about none of that, because I am that, because no one is actually going out of their way to be that for us. Like we have those artists and they're out there.
Not to discredit anybody.
Not to, like, right, not shitting on nobody. But however, when you go out of your way to fuck men or to be a woman and fuck women and then go out of your way to not make music for those same people, it's like you're doing yourself a disservice. Especially
when the people that are supporting you are your community. And I think that's a slap in the face to your community as well. When you do a video and there's a whole girl and they're trying to like your love interest, be like, but I just and people that follow you and you, it gets really like weird for me. But also like I just wanted to speak my truth. He wanted to speak his truth, so it was like, bet, that's what we're doing. You know, at the end of the day, if you relate. And one thing that was so funny to me is to see like my mom really about to like blow your mind, and I was like, oh, you nasty. Oh, that's why I get it from. Okay, exactly. Yeah. Like I see you. So it's really good because it allows that moment to also bond and be like, hey, people get down with get down. You know? So it's cool.
I'm here for it. And speaking of signing, are you guys, can you talk about that? Are you with a label? Are you just independent right now? Are you searching to be signed? Like, how's that? What's the desire with that, if any?
So we're currently independent. When I said signing, I was young. It was 16. My dad didn't know no better.
16 at war.
Okay, but and that didn't last obviously because I'm still trying to make a name for myself, right? But we're independent, but we are currently in the movement of making our own label, if you will. So we're RM8 or Roommate. We're coming up with Roommate Studios. Yeah. And so, like right now, we're working with another artist. His name is Kesey.
Super dope.
If you look on my page,
before you go further, Roommate Studios. That is not an invitation for the homeless to seek shelter, bitch.
Right? Okay. No. Okay, this is not that type of invitation. But we like, especially seeing when I did Chasing Dallas, to see the people who were in my DMs like, oh my God, there's somebody out here doing this. They just want to know the next steps. Right now, it's like, well, there's a wealth of knowledge, you know, like, so like, well, we've done it. So it's like, okay, how can we help you do it too? Because it's not just us out here making good music. There's other people who got quality music or who just got a quality story that wants to be told. Yeah. And so we wanted to, as we're still building our name and still building who we are going to be, solo and as a group. Yeah. We're also going to be like, okay, how can we help the next person? Because most of the time, these labels are not looking for you until you do something outlandish or get up to a certain amount of followers. And then even then, it's within restraints. Yeah.
And so we're at a place where, like, we want to also bring quality back. Like, where talent is the thing that, you know, we're looking for. Like, you know, just in general, like, back in the day, it was just like, you had your talent, you had your story, you had, you know, relatability or however people related to you. And real story. And so, and I think now people are just like, they get their hit, they get their song, but you don't really develop the full story behind that person, or like why they decide to put out this single, or why it's just everybody like it is trendy, you know? And so that's what we want. We want stories again, like of people
making classics.
Yeah, we want to make classics for sure. Facts.
And that's exactly what we need. Again, there's so much technical stuff and computerized vocals and people sitting in the shower in the bathroom all day long trying to get the right acoustics so that they can act as if they know how to sing. Okay, Jesus. But raw talent may not come in the form of a chiseled ab or a bitch with nice tits or someone who weighs $100 pounds. It's going to come from every different element. I like that. And I thank you guys for thinking about the community, putting yourselves on, you know, that journey so that we can have something to look to and to aspire to be and to know. And I know, and I hate that we don't get opportunities to get to know more people like yourselves. Like you said, Kerry, there are people that we just don't know of yet because they haven't had the opportunity to step on a platform that can get them that kind of exposure. So the fact that you guys want to reach back and help, but I do want to say this. We can't help anybody until we help ourselves. So hopefully your main focus is you guys getting to that place to where you truly can reach back and make a difference for someone else.
Oh yes, now it's just planting little seeds and stuff like that, and just like wanting to encourage as much as possible. Like if we can't like give, like a whole, situation for someone, it's literally like just if you have questions or like when you know that you can do it, or don't doubt yourself, or because there's a lot of people that won't do it because of different stipulations, and we're like, no, you're amazing. Like especially being in this community, we have so many people that are behind the scenes that need to be shown like in the light that they deserve.
Right, and they regulate themselves to being background singers, or they regulate themselves to being somebody else's other,
or not telling their story.
Right, and it's like tell your story, and yes, there's definitely place for, especially for writers, to make a name for themselves that way. But it's like if you're a singer and your gift is singing, or you're a rapper and your gift is rapping, then follow that instinct. Follow like this world is craving authenticity. And as much as they think they're getting it, they're only getting it in so many doses. And it takes artists, and I'll say it like us. They'll take artists who are really truly authentic to their experience, or truly authentic to making a difference. If that makes any sense. So, like for sure, we're not gonna try. I'm not trying to fund nobody else's product right now when I'm still trying to fund my own.
Right.
But most definitely, like I was just mentioning, Kesey, he's the rapper we're working with. We're on a song together. I definitely helped him out as far as making sure that he understood the process. So y'all go listen to his project. It's amazing. But we're here to help where we are. A lot of times we're looking for a handout, like to get up, and I'm tired of looking up. I'm tired of looking for other people to help save me or help bring me to this place that I know I belong. It's like, let me reach across, and how can we build up together?
Okay, reach across and create this huge lane for us all, so we can all eat, honestly. And that's why I actually enjoy the fact that you like this right here, is because the fact is like it's the conversation that needs to be had, and I think your energy and who you are is super dope as well. Yes, of course, shade is thrown there, but I love it. but this is what
a little sprinkle here and there.
This is real, this is like legit conversation. Like if I were to run into you like at a bar or like that, we would randomly have with someone that we feel like it have the ability to do so because they want to know more about like just who you are as a person, like, or like what is your story, and so that thank you for this platform in general, just to like doing this.
You're absolutely welcome. And that's a perfect segue to go into the next song. I don't want to keep too much of you guys. We got 2 more songs to go. Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
and then to wrap everything up. And
every day everybody talking about it. Feel free to take it. Ain't every day.
Okay.
Look, we're having a good time.
I think this song is a perfect segue because what you guys described was bitches being in the wilderness.
Facts.
Bitches being in the wilderness. So let's go ahead and let's try to help the girls get out of the wilderness, shall we? This is Wilderness by RM8, everybody. Listen.
It's 3:45 in the morning, and I'm waking up in someone else's bed. I can't go to sleep, so I'm tossing and turning. So I look up to the ceiling instead, with questions in my mind I need answers to. Like, where did I make the wrong turn? Is this how life's supposed to be? On social media, everyone looks happy. Oh, where am I? How did I get here? Standing here all alone in this wilderness. I'm so lost in the dark with no home. I'm standing in the unknown. Where am I? How did I get here? Standing here all alone in this wilderness. I'm so lost in the dark with no home. I'm standing in the unknown. Here I go once again, thinking you are mine, finding out that someone has reclaimed my time. You keep giving dumb excuses, you must think I'm fucking stupid. Maybe I am.
I am so lost without your love. I keep giving myself to those who fuck it up. Where do I go from here? I keep walking into this wilderness. How did I get here? Standing here all alone in this wilderness. I'm so lost in the dark with no home. I'm standing in the unknown. Oh, oh, where am I? How did I get here? Standing here all alone in this wilderness. I'm so lost in the dark with no home. I'm standing in the unknown. Oh, it ain't easy being left out because I couldn't figure us out. I'm so tired of being scared when all I want is you here. Oh, I find myself breaking down in a dark room and I can't get out. Can someone please pull me out so I can keep moving on? Standing here all alone in this wilderness. Standing in this wilderness. Dark with no home. I'm standing. How did I get here? Standing here all alone in this I'm all alone. I'm standing in the unknown. I'm standing in the unknown. In this you said I'm standing in the unknown. I'm so tired of being lost. Someone find me.
Honey, let me say this. What the fuck? Like, before I get into my feelings about this song, because I've listened to this song a couple of times when it first came out. I obviously had to cop it. But I've just now actually dived into it a little more. Please explain this song, honey. Please.
You want to start it when we start?
Go ahead, start.
Okay, so wilderness for me is just a multitude of different ways that we get lost in things. If you're listening to the first verse, you hear that he not only is he lost in the situation he's currently in, but he's also lost trying to be this person on social media or be this person in that area. Mine is that you lost in a relationship. You lost thinking you're somewhere like my situation from Ghost. but you're lost in these situations where you feel like you keep giving yourself to these people, and you like it's like, what is it that I keep giving more of myself? And ultimately, it's like we're still just trying to find ourselves, and we don't know where. Like a lot of times, a lot of us, we're not guided. We're not. Hey, this is how you get out of this. This is how you. We all feel that way as far as being lost, and so for me, that's an embodiment of various ways that we get lost. Yeah, and hopefully somebody can find a way out of. We still looking.
Okay, listen. Hopefully I can say this without being emotional because I'm
dramatic.
Let's not say dramatic. Emotional. I think it's one of those situations where, like, when you experience a very dark place, you find yourself really waking up, looking at the ceiling, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what is happening? I'm not where I want to be. I'm not dating the right people. I don't have the career path that I want right now, and and just trying to survive especially with the climate that everything is in right now, especially like what's going on. It really was like we all are out here just trying to figure it the fuck out. Like we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to like really press on, and you realize you're not the only one, because when you do get on social media, people are really being a little bit more honest now about like this is with what's going on in their life. Like a lot of people are dealing with a lot of especially mental illness, for sure. You know, depression is a thing that
This pandemic showed a lot.
Yeah, especially with this pandemic, you know, the whole Black Lives Matter movement and everything, and how we as Black people are being killed just senselessly, just for nothing, just for being Black. And then also with trans women, like, it's just so much that goes on, that trans men, it's like, it's just so much that goes on where we really are living in like our own lives as individuals, and nobody knows exactly what the next person is going through, but they have their story. We all have our story, and we're all trying to make it, and we're all just trying to figure it out. You know, I was gonna say it again, but we're all just trying to figure it out. And sometimes that's okay. Like, being in that space is okay, because you learn more by being able to get lost in yourself, getting lost out in this world. Eventually there's going to be a light somewhere, or some shining star that you can follow.
You just got to keep going.
You just got to keep going. As long as you can keep going and keep pushing, you will eventually find yourself. But it's okay sometimes to be in the wilderness. Yeah.
All right, but let me tell you, y'all better open up a church, bitch. Let me tell you, because y'all are preaching the word of God up in the building tonight, honey. I really hope that the people, especially for the people that are just coming in, or the people that are going to watch this replay, you really need to sit down and really listen to the gems of life that these wonderful guys came through to spill tonight, honey. Like, these are people you can tell that have walked a path, learned from it, you feel me, and are here to reach back and touch and let you know that, bitch, we are here to help guide you through these moments of life that you're inevitably going to go through. So I really do appreciate that. Wow, like, I really wish more people like you were in our community. I think we have a lot, but we're not notable. You don't have a lot of people that actually highlight the ones that are trying to create impact and, you know, build bridges of unity that our community so desperately needs. Right. Shout out to the Yes God Roundtable.
Yeah. Right. I was just gonna say, like, that's why we need platforms like yours.
Yeah.
Like,
have those real conversations.
Right, because a lot of us, I'm sure there are a lot of us out there, or at least a lot of us lost out there, but it's so covered up in what is trendy, what is like the drama of it all,
the facade.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, some of us are really just come out here to actually be real.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, to let people know that we love you. We know that you may feel alone, but you got people here in your corner who understand what you're going through, who understand that and still love you despite whatever bullshit, excuse me, mama, that you're going through. You know, it's just, no, but despite all of that, you have people like us who are here, who actually want to see you succeed, who actually want to see us as a community get better. Because a lot of times, like, I remember, like, just random story, Tom, bear with me. When I got out of my relationship, I had this wondrous ideal of what the gay community was going to look like. And unfortunately, it was not that. But
and he would defend it to the death of him. I was like, Kerry, I'm just gonna give you a little warning.
It's like the opening scene of The Wizard of Oz where Dorothy gets to, you know, the little Munchkin land, and it's just like shits and giggles, and we're all holding hands and helping each other. And can I borrow some sugar? And then you realize, bitch, it ain't like that.
Exactly. And like, he had to show me. He like he would say certain things, or people would say, the gays this, and I'd be like, girl, that's everybody.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, but then over time it was like, but I think we have been conditioned to believe this is how we have to be.
Yeah.
This is who we are. And it's like, no, we don't have to we don't have, it can be a part of who we are. Shade is a part of, you know, that's a part of our fabric of life. That's
we're just witty.
We're just very witty. But it also doesn't have to be that. It could be us building each other up, like, us leaning on each other for support.
Like, I don't want to have to go into a room and always feel like I have to be guarded. Like, or I have to have a comeback, or I have to be witty. Like, I want there to be a community where, like, oh, I really like either your outfit, I love your personality, I love the light that you're giving off, I enjoyed that you got up, put on something, and decided to come out and have a good time. Like that. It's like I don't want to have to pick somebody apart. Like, I don't want to have to feel like I'm being picked apart to feel like I can fit in or to fit in. And so that's one of the things, one of the reasons why brunch is so, like, fundamental on the project, because it's like, give that person a compliment. Like, let them know they're doing their thing. Or, like, join forces with other people who want to do what you're doing, you know? And that's that, honestly.
I hear that. There's moments in life where, especially my younger years, where I actually gave a fuck about people's opinions. I would literally be in the mirror trying on like 1,000 different outfits before I go out, and I'm like, these bitches they're not gonna try to eat me up. And it's like, why do you have to go? Why are we? And we are conditioned that way because of society and this unrealistic blanket that they throw over the world. Like, you have to look this way or aspire to be this way. That's what creates body dysmorphia. That's what creates people to have all these phobias about the way that they look. And I don't think that's right. And I appreciate y'all talking about that. Thank you so much.
No problem. It's one of those things that I think is going to be our resistance, if you will. Just like one of the things we're gonna, I know I'm gonna fight for, to make sure that people who don't fit these type of stereotypes get love still. Who doesn't fit this certain narrative, because it doesn't have to, like,
you don't have to wear labels. You don't have to be the person that's the it person. You don't have to have all of the Instagram followers for us to realize and see like who you are. Like, and I think that's one thing that we get real messed up. Like, it does not matter how many followers you have. It does not matter like what you're pretty much, if you have labels or how expensive it is. It's what is your heart, like your character, like who are you, like how are you walking out into the world.
Don't let these reality shows fool any of y'all, because half of them will get popped in their face saying half that shit to anybody in person. Like a lot of times, like, these shows show unrealistic versions of who these people are or how you should be out amongst yourselves. It's like, no, y'all know half that shit will get you popped in the face in public. They not that bold. You know, as much as y'all get entertainment for the drama, they not that bold in person.
Yeah, and it's, to be honest, like, that's one thing that was so funny was like, let's be like, when we were coming up with a name, we were like RM8 roommate stuck, was because like there's no shame in our game that like we're roommates.
And girls love to shade a girl. Y'all roommate. Yeah, girl, and
that's fine, but also it just fit, you know what I'm saying? And then it was just like it was perfect. But not only that, it's just like I have nothing to prove to like anybody with like financially or whatever, but I know what I do when I walk out into the world. I want them to say at least he was a good person. Like, he either made me laugh, he made me like think about something or something like that. Like, I could care less if I walk away and you're like, I did not like his shoes or whatever. Now, mind you, sometimes I do like, everybody likes to look good. You know what I'm saying?
I like a good look.
Okay, we like a good look, but at the end of the day, that doesn't
make the person.
Exactly. So
that's it.
That's it.
I'm off my hot horse.
Okay.
Amen to that, y'all. Again, welcome to the Church of Christ, honey, because we are here preaching God's word this evening, honey. You better know it. I want to play Blow Your Mind real quick. Is that okay? I know that to me, that was one of the first ones that I was introduced to. I had no choice. Of course, we were promised certain things in the season that we didn't get, but I think overall, your project made it. While a lot of the girls sit around here and talk about things that only live within their mind, you actually created situations. They're actually here. They've been brought to fruition. They exist. They are a product. Amen. They are tangible. Even though it's music, it's still tangible. Hallelujah, bitch.
Hey, real amen.
You guys stood through, and I love this song. I know you already explained it. You don't have to get back into it, but I would just like to play it for the people, because you never know who may not have had an opportunity to hear it. This is one of my first. This is one of those ones where Kerry was coming through with the vocals. Lyndon was coming through with questionable trade like behaviors, you know.
Okay. Now you got something.
Very Christian Grey, honey, and you know, child, you had everybody wanted to be your Anastasia Steele, honey. Okay.
The girls still want to be.
We got a few in the chat tonight, honey, who don't mind being whipped and chained by Lyndon Jamez, honey.
Send them your love.
Listen, all love.
All right, this is Blow Your Mind, guys. Let's get into it. I feel like a radio DJ.
Yeah, okay.
Listen. Shut the fuck up, what you keep on talking for? Come here, let me take off all your clothes with your permission. Cause you ain't doing from the things you said up in the messages. So it's time for me to take control. Call me a fool. I'ma grab you by your waist, give daddy a taste. No need for play, just sit it on my face. We can go all night in my favorite 69. I'm trying to blow your mind. Yeah,
Tease me, bite me, lick me, choke me real tight. Baby, blow my mind, blindfold me, control me, eat me till I'm weak in the knees. Baby, blow my mind, kiss me, tease me, bite me, lick me, choke me real tight. Baby, blow my mind, blindfold me, control me, eat me till I'm weak in the knees. Baby, blow my mind. I can tell you're ready, baby. No amateur, I expect expert level fucking, baby. Keep me coming, so you know that I'm loving it, baby. If you eat it right, then I'll open up, baby. You put the arch in my back, daddy attack, baby, it's all yours. Don't you hold back, you holding that. Now we're on this floor. If you with it, then I'm with it. If you want it, you can get it as long as you kiss me, tease me, bite me, lick me, choke me real tight. Baby, blow my mind, blindfold me, control me, eat me till I'm weak in the knees. Baby, blow my mind, kiss me, tease me, bite me, lick me, choke me real tight. Baby, blow my mind, blindfold me, control me, eat me till I'm weak in the knees. Baby, blow my mind. Baby, blow my mind.
Yes.
Breathing heavy,
Put you inside me.
temperatures rise ahead.
Baby, blow my mind.
If you
Hold me,
let me
touch you.
right there,
Baby, blow my mind. Kiss me, tease me, bite me, lick me, choke me real tight. Oh, baby, blow my mind. Hold me, control me, beat me till I'm weak in the knees. Baby, blow my mind. Kiss me, tease me,
chase me,
bite me, lick me. Oh, baby, blow my mind. Show me, control me, beat me till I'm weak in the knees. Baby, blow my mind.
Oh, yes, son, blow my mind, bitch. Blow my mind. And let me tell y'all something. How do you feel about songs that you've already done? Like this one right here, like I would always have to look back to it. Like as you go further in creating music, how many songs? Okay, hold on, my bad. How many songs have you guys created altogether?
Public songs.
Just period, just overall, like even the unreleased stuff.
Mhm. We collabed with like this and
My first project.
mhm.
And maybe a few songs. Well, you got a few songs too. But
Yeah.
probably about 20, 25 songs.
So do you ever just get like that a song that you like this one for me, for instance, like that's the one I was introduced to you on, and I obviously love the rest of the project too, but it's just like that's your first one. So do you guys have a first one you always, reference or think about?
Mine, I guess, would be With You. It's off of my first project. It's the first song off of my first project. I have a couple. I mean, I don't have just one. But
Listen,
I was my whole discography.
me and Kerry like go way back since like high school, so we definitely tried to like write and do stuff like together. It was so funny. Our bonding experience is literally like walking from like walking through a park, walking to a 7-Eleven, all the way to a Barnes and Noble, just vibing, like just like talking, having a good time, and then like just singing random stuff, and then just trying to create. So honestly, it could be anything, but like honestly, the one that was like when we really decided to do a project together, we was like, "Blow Your Mind" is going to be the one.
Yeah.
That's like this is one that came like it just.
It didn't take us long to write that at all. Like when don't know. I said this on in the before. Like what you see on the show of us writing Blow Your Mind is not how that happened at all. Like by the time that part was aired, we had already recorded the song, had the song ready to go. Like that wasn't the case. But
now
like,
the footage in the studio.
The footage in the studio was what we did in the studio. But we wrote the song maybe in a day.
Yeah,
like it was really quick. Like, but that probably is my go-to song for us.
Yeah,
but also like there were just other good moments. Like Villain was a good moment.
Yeah,
For You, the first song that we wrote together, that was a good one. So I mean, there's a couple.
Yeah, and some that were like,
nope, you ain't gonna never hear about it. But
Let's
they're like, let's not even talk about it.
But no, it's been a process, but we love it.
And we love it too.
Thank you.
I know there's a lot going on in the world today as far as the presidential, campaign. Shout out to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for, winning. Amen.
Okay.
And also, a couple other things were happening this evening too. I forget what they were, but for the people that will be coming to the building later to see this, please make sure you support these gentlemen, because I see big things for y'all. I'd like to call myself a person that can like sense things. And from day one, if I support it, that means I wholeheartedly believe in it. Because I don't support just anybody, child. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really see it for you guys. And again, a lot of the gems you guys, sprinkled on the children this evening was very profound. So hopefully you get some kind of like motivational speaking gigs, write a couple books, maybe,
Done. I can't.
That's different right here.
I just love that type of stuff. Like you said, like my thing is like I do love to challenge people to want to be their best self and vibrate at their highest frequency as a person. And like I don't have all the answers. I really don't. But like I really, if I can support in the way of just like, where do you start to be your best self? Because like I know talking back to even people like like my dad and like people that are older, they didn't really have the tools like we do now.
Thanks.
So it's like, let's use those tools. Let's take advantage of that. Like, with therapy, with, even when some people might be crazy, like, no, don't do the crystals and stuff, but there's tools, church, like there's tools out there for everyone. It's just balance is what I like to say. There's balance in everything, but just make sure that you're doing it to be your best self. And that's all I can say about that.
Chad, just put me on a stage, put me in the studio. That's where you're gonna get my therapy. That's where you're gonna get your life lessons. I hate talking, but I talk too much. That's neither here nor there.
I hear that. So as we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to say to the people? Anything that we don't know about you guys, or any dreams, aspirations, where you see yourselves?
Dreams and aspirations, yeah. Front row with me at the Grand Prix. Well, I'll say this: be on the lookout.
Yeah.
This was a great moment for us as far as to put this project out. It's been long awaited for y'all and us.
Yeah.
But this is definitely not the end. Regardless of what you may see coming forward, whether it be a show or not, but there's more coming.
Yeah.
We definitely want to work with other artists.
Yeah.
We definitely going to work on our solo projects. Be on the lookout for Relapse and Recovery.
Yeah.
I'm working on my solo project now, so there's a lot coming.
Yeah.
So we just hope you're ready for the ride, because we ready to work.
Yeah, and we do appreciate all of the love and support that we have received thus far. So it's like it's not taken for granted. Like we do appreciate it. Honestly, like to me, I never thought I'd wake up and be like, oh my God, somebody's really like listening to our music.
Yeah.
And like that touches me in a different way, because I'm like, that's dope, like it really is. And it's like I take that and I hold it in a special place in my corazón. But yeah, no, really. And I just want us all to just make sure we're all elevating together as a group of people. And like honestly, like I see you doing big things and everything like that. So like, it's just like the more that we have our next interview, it's just going to always continue to be better and better and better. And I just like that's what I'm striving for. It's like you said, we're networking across, like we're working together, we're grabbing hands, and we're like, let's do this. And like, I definitely see the spirit within you that really is striving to do that as well. And so don't stop that, continue to do that, and always make sure that because continue to do that. You're elevating, and I love it. And it's a beautiful thing to see, because I'll be looking, I'll be peeping, I'll be like, yes. And so we're definitely proud of you as well. And thank you so much for having us here.
Thanks. And we do want to. I'm sorry, I do want to get that. You want to jump on the feedback real quick. But yes, we want to thank you and the round table. You guys have been supportive of us since seeing us on Chasing Dallas. I truly
hold on. I have to, that's the Just Us League, honey. Hallelujah.
Oh, excuse me, my Just Us League.
No, the round table is what I do every Sunday for, the gay community and things of that nature, having conversations like that. But the Justice League, Ebby, Teddy, Really TV, Cats Meow, Terrence, Giving You the Real TV, and Scotty by Nature TV, honey. Yes, God.
Well, let me rephrase. My fault.
It's all good, man.
Okay.
But no, I do want to thank all of y'all for supporting us, because doing the show wasn't very hard for me. Just because I ain't the type of girl with them girls, but to see you guys support us and see the hard work that we're doing and actually support the vision, I truly appreciate that. And go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and we know that y'all are honest and brutally honest sometimes, and so sometimes we're like, wait a minute, hold up,
girl.
But also we brace ourselves, because it's legit out of love. Like, I can tell, and it's like. It's like, honestly, how you take it. Sometimes people do deserve a little clap back, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, like, it's definitely the honesty for me that I really enjoy. And it's like, we are sensitive, but when it comes to people that we know are really just giving the honest feedback, we're like, okay, because then that's how we all grow, So I think, listen, all y'all for being super honest and supportive, and bam.
My heart a little fucked up.
Oh, you on mute?
We can't hear you, baby.
You're on mute.
You gonna talk to us on mute? You muted.
Bitch!
I don't want to interrupt, but
I feel like what you saying is very.
I don't miss it.
I was going on a good little speech, honey. Okay,
Right.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I really do appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, and you guys are always accepting of my invitations and just everything. I just appreciate y'all being open and being willing. And always, honey, when you guys make it, because we're going to claim that when you make it, don't forget about a bitch, okay?
Why?
Listen, getting the interviews, okay? Exclusive.
I love it exclusive, honey. I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. This was Kerry D, honey. This was Lyndon Jamez. They are RM8, also known as Roommate. A wonderful music duo, and I'm just so proud of these guys to see where they're coming from and what they're going to be doing with this musical angel baby that they have. I'm here for it. It's different, and it feels like it's for us, by us, and that's what I appreciate the most out of it. And you guys are so humble and so wonderful, and of course, cute as buttons. Hello, God. Who wouldn't love it? Yes, God. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yes, honey. You blow your mind in this bitch. So communicate with the girls. Don't get lost in the goddamn wilderness, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Have brunch with your homegirls. Hello, God. Don't forget your fucking chapstick. Yeah. Okay? Let's get it together. I'm still working on the effects, child, but y'all know that was right. Applause.
I love it.
We appreciate it. We took it.
I love y'all so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And we've been here for a while, so I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to get it all out. I
appreciate
it. We had a good time.
Thanks.
Thank you. And everybody in the chat, if I didn't get an opportunity to get to, I do apologize. The in-depth interviews is just, me just focusing on the guests. But everything you guys put in the chat, I will observe. I'm so sorry. I love you all. I'm sure next time I'll do my best, okay? But this has been a production. Well, not a production. Well, bitch, I'm me. YB Entertainment.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. That way it'll be updated each and every time I'm loading something new. And because you never know who else is going to be here on In Depth, honey. You never know. Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and have a good night. Bye.